There you go. What's going on? I guess internet and or people and or watching. I don't know. I've already done this once, twice, three times. Can't even fucking count anymore. I don't know. I just needed a just a way to clear my head, you know? Just talk about shit that I've been needing to for a hot minute, you know? I don't really have I wanted to stream, but it's like um it's either I'm taking a break from it or it's either I just need time away from time to just kind of clear time to just get a sense, you know, get a sense of what I'm doing is right, I guess. I don't know. I just it's just been strange, you know. Like I said, I apologize if I'm not the ideal person to be a YouTuber. Yeah, it shows clearly. Sorry, I'm better. I'm a lot better on I'm better streaming wise than anything else. So, forgive me if that's not the case, but like I said, I just wanted to have something in the background so you're not abnormally bored of yeah, my ape-looking face. So, or my apish intelligence for that matter. But, I don't know. So a lot's happened, you know? I mean, I don't know. I've just been so confused, I guess. Not really confused. I just more or less have not. I more or less have not been myself, you know? I just. I don't want to say it's like a spiral or it's like, oh, he's losing his touch. I think it's more or less just a sense of, like, do I keep going or do I just say, fuck it and this is where it ends? Pick up the 9 to 5, the 410s in the warehouse and no one gives a shit about and just, you know, die at the ripe old age of 73 in a nursing home in Florida. Because, you know, that's where dreams go to die. Sorry. Anyways, look, the point is I definitely haven't been, or I've been better. Definitely been a lot. I definitely could have felt a lot happier, you know? And I know I have, like, at least all of 3 people. But, you know, those 3 people on, or Discord I was going to mention, you know, like the Nox guys or the Yawns and, you know, everyone at least being cool and trying to be supportive, you know, and I respect that, you know what I'm saying? Believe me, I definitely don't forsake the people that actually enjoy what I do, you know what I mean? It's guys like them that actually get through stream where, you know, 2 hours in and nothing interesting has happened the whole time. So, but yeah, I just, I don't know. Maybe it's more a sense of like, do I, again, do I just keep going? Do I just say fuck it and not care anymore? I hate to think that what I've been doing this past, what is it, October's in, what, next month? So it's what, 3 years now? It's at a decent pace. I've kind of more or less have just, you know, I've been going for a long time. You know what I mean? It's just been a wild ride. I've had my moments that I've found were really cool. You know, I've definitely had some cool interactions. Shit, I've had. Oh God, I can't even. Let's see how many. It's been one, two, three. I'm trying to think. One, two, three, four, six now. Like 6 relationships from the time I've actually been streaming and whatnot. So I remember my first when I was like super little streaming. Like, oh God, I can't remember what it was. I think it was like Star Wars or some shit like that. Like when it actually came out. That oh my God, I can't remember what it was. But yeah, it was that one. Had the Xbox set up on a on a shoe on a Nike shoebox. You know, premium premium desks back in those days with the fucking headset mic. You know, the the kind of the humble beginnings, if you will. I miss that stuff, man. Because it was so simple back then. There wasn't a need for there wasn't a need for like trying. Even though I wanted to try, I wanted to make it sound good and sound fun and entertaining too at the same time. Because obviously, you know, gameplays these days are a bit spry and kind of boring at times, but I liked it because I enjoyed the game thoroughly, and that's what made it a lot worth it, you know? And so for me to just kind of swap wholesale over, or no, it wasn't even swapping wholesale over, it was more along the lines of like, you know, I think I let kind of that whole, I don't know, sense of the views get me down, and sense of like, hey, is people watching? And I got really caught up in the moment, so that's on me, you know? Because again, I don't want to do this just for the sake of, oh, well, he's getting money, and that's interesting. It's not. I really don't. You know what I mean? Obviously, I want to kind of more or less, I just want to feel like I'm doing something right, you know? And it's difficult these days, you know? Because I just get it caught up with like, well, look, there's money involved. It's like, well, no, that's not the point of why you're doing this. Why you're doing this is because, you know, you like doing it. You like playing this. COD has always been like a mainstay that way for me. You know what I mean? Been playing COD since, fuck, dude, it's been forever. I'm not old, but you know, I might as well be. The amount of time that I've been playing. But I don't know. I want a sense of purpose, you know? Want a sense of what I'm doing is actually gonna work out, or maybe not work out, but more along the lines of like, is it really gonna be worth it in the end? You know? And that's difficult. I want to do big things in my life, and I want to kind of bring people with me too, but it's difficult because it's that sense of trust that you have to give, and I'm not a very trusting person. You know, it's hard to open up to people when so many let you down. It's like, well, were you better off doing it yourself, were, or should you have pursued that sort of kind of, you know, that, I don't say angle because that sounds shitty, like path, or kind of like, should you have pursued it the way that you've gone? You know, I feel as though as I'm kind of doing that, but it definitely hasn't been worth it, for sure. So, I don't know. It's nice to be able to talk about things, you know, and like recently I don't want to say a spiral, but I've definitely been better. That's for sure. I don't feel happy. It's not that I don't, it's not that there isn't ways to fix that or remedy that at the moment, but it's like, is it possible to kind of come back from where I'm at? Or is it just better to, you know, give it all up? Just say, hey, this shit's not working out. Fuck it. What's the point of you even trying this anymore? You know? That's a, it's a shitty reality, you know? So, but it's nice to just be able to let, kind of let words speak for themselves, you know? More often than not. And that, I think, is what makes it worth it in the end. Just being able to have everyone and no one at the same time. If that makes sense. So, I know it sounds a little stupid, but I mean, it's what kind of made sense in my head originally. So, obviously, I'm not gonna be posting videos like this all the time, but I just wanted to have something here to really, you know, get a sense of who I am. Or in the time of grown and kind of, definitely not matured, but more, or get a better understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing at this point. It's not easy, you know? In the beginning, I was so dead set on, like, having this be my, you know, like, this was gonna be it, you know what I'm saying? Like, this was gonna be the job. I was gonna make all this money and then, you know, help other people get to this point too, but shit takes a turn, man. It takes a turn in ways that you just can't begin to understand or comprehend, you know? So where do you go? I mean, where do you really go from here? It's funny watching, like, videos of, like, people and how they've wildly successful, but then all of a sudden they just take a fucking dip and it's kind of it, you know what I'm saying? So it's just more, it's more along the lines of, like, who are you doing this for? Is it for yourself? Or is it for a bigger and better purpose and or understanding? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I feel lost, in a way. I feel like it's just, it's kind of like, what's the point, you know? Because I've definitely put a lot of time and energy and definitely a lot of love and kind of dedication to the craft, you know what I'm saying? And it's tough. Fuck, dude, it's just been so long that I've been doing this. I know people are just like, well, just take a break, man. And I hope that works. I can just come back and be like, well, you know, let's get back to the bullshit. And just doing dumb shit. But is it really that simple? I don't know. I'm not really the expert of kind of making a comeback. It's not really my kind of forte, you know? All I can do is just kind of keep trudging along, you know? And, no. I do feel a little more at peace when I'm kind of doing stuff like this. It's like, dude, I still remember, I still remember, like, my early, dude, I still remember my first YouTube stream. I still remember it. It was like in the dead of night, because at the time I wasn't, okay, so let me give you like a brief breakdown, right? So at the time, I wasn't really able to, like, you know, couldn't touch it. I put Chris's money towards a console with like a couple other people, and it's like, well, it's still not technically yours. It's like, you know, you own share stock in that, but if I see you can't play it, well, that's just reality. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And so what I do is, on a school night, granted I was in high school, and my high school was like right across the street from where I lived, so it made things a little more convenient, but fuck, dude, I was so tired. Because what I do is I would get up, or I would like try to set like a silent alarm and wake up at like, dude, dead of night, like midnight and stuff like that. Oh my god, it was brutal. It was so, it just sucked so bad afterwards. Oh, holy shit, man. That was probably one of the rougher, easily one of the rougher times. Because it wasn't a matter of, God, it wasn't a matter of, hold on, I'm trying to think of what the hell I was going to say. Hold on, I'm, change my audio, because I'm mentally not here. Yep, change that fucking way. Anyways, I'm stupid. So, professional, I know. So, I think it was on a, I think it was sophomore year? Sophomore year of high school, I still can remember it. God, it's just been so long. But I still remember, I think it was like an old GTA stream, or GTA 5 stream when like it was in its heyday. Like, was it 14, 15, 16 even? Like I said, it's been so long, I'd have to go back and check, but I still remember it. That was... because obviously YouTube has zero support system for, you know, streaming on it, so it's like you're streaming to maybe somebody at some point. And it was funny because it's like I was one of the few people that actually was like streaming in my what you call it, in my, I don't want to say school, there's probably other people that did it too, but it's like I was one of the most notable ones. You know what I mean? I definitely wasn't famous by no means, but among my friend group, it was kind of like the the joke. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, did he fucking upload or some shit? It's like, oh yeah, he did. It was a bit of a clown, but that was fun. You know, it made me feel kind of cool. I still have, I think like my custom shirt. I still have that I had done up. I don't remember which website it was on. It had like my the expendable on the back. It was like a black shirt, and what it had like, it was like a PNG of like a dragon I found on the internet, and I made it rainbow. You know what I mean? I think I've kind of stuck with that ever since, honestly. Or at least in Minecraft, that kind of rainbow effect. No, it's not because of pride. It's not because of K-Pride, bro. Although, you know, whatever. Look, point is that it was cool to me, alright? It looked cool. It had that kind of, encircling feeling to it. You know, that's what made it really fun. It was cool, man. I thought I was hot shit, dude. Some cool ass fucking custom shit. I had that one, and I still have my long sleeve shirt. I think I still have that up on Instagram, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, that I thought was pretty cool, too. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't know, I really found a sense of purpose with the whole sense of that was like me, you know? This alternate idea, this kind of school kid, nobody at day, and then badass. I think, yeah, Battlefront player at night. Dude, I have so many memories. I have so many good and bad memories from those days. But there was something really fun about just... Oh my god, that's right. I still have those. I need to remove those. They make me cringe too damn much. Those fucking, oh my god. Those fucking videos where I'm just like in a park or some shit and I'm just talking. But you know what? Maybe that's fine. It's fine that those are up because it's a reminder of like how I used to be, you know, or like what it took to kind of get to the point I am at now. Which is that's totally fine. You know what I mean? That's kind of the sense that I wanted to, you know, I can show that level of. Oh, I definitely don't want to see maturity, but more along the sense of like, it's like, wow, look how far he's come. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think that that was how I was back then, you know. But again, it was high school, so it's like, who fucking cares? Literally no one's the same after the fact. But, I don't know. It made me feel whole, you know? Again, it gave me that sense of purpose when I had none to begin with. Because, again, I had nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't really have anything tying me to anything in particular. It was just, I mean, that was it. The kind of YouTube-esque vibe, the kind of alternate identity, you know? Maybe I was, like, inspired by, I don't know, the Batman movies or some shit. You know? Maybe I thought those were cool. That was kind of the reason why. But, no. I said I can't really explain the feeling that it gave me when it comes to just doing that, you know? I did, or I felt a lot better about myself, definitely, you know? There was something to be said about what it meant to someone in high school who didn't have much and was struggling at the time because of not even shit of his own making, but just, you know, growing up type things, family shit. Stuff that can't really be explained by someone who's, you know, still trying to figure shit out as it is. It comes down to, like, you know, everything. God, it was moments where I was at the lowest that I felt for a while, and streaming in the dead of night at, oh, I don't know, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. It felt awesome. And waking up, but knowing that, like, I did that, you know? the people that I was living with were unaware of it, I could just really do what I want because that was me. You know what I mean? So it felt good. It felt like, I don't know. I just, again, I can't really explain the feeling, but it felt right. You know, it just felt like I could do a lot. You know what I mean? I was floating on cloud nine, but now obviously as I've matured into adulthood, you know, it becomes different in retrospect because it's like, well, is this really gonna happen, or is this more just along the lines of, is this a phase? I was gonna say, you know what I mean? Is this just something that you're gonna grow out of and just say, hey, that was fucking cool? You know, when you're fucking linked up to the goddamn IV machine, your deathbed, and just think, oh, that was kind of neat, but didn't pan out or shit. And there's a lot, and I definitely in the early days of when I was streaming on Twitch, or I still am, but like the early days of Twitch, I've had, you know, obviously seen things of like, well, just because I've definitely outlasted a lot of people around me, at least that I've come to know, that I've just simply kind of stopped and just said, you know what, nah, like it's not worth it, you know. So it's like, where do I kind of come out in all this, you know? Do I just have this as a, do I downsize myself? Just say once a week, once a month, once 6 months, once a year? Where do I go? You know, what do I have to offer that no one else can? Sense of honesty, sense of not bullshit, sense of just, you know, again, I'm definitely not anything special compared to most people. I just like playing fucking video games, man. And sometimes making funny ass jokes. And that's probably about it. I've definitely got nothing in the interest spectrum for sure. It's not anything I would consider. Definitely not something I would consider that, you know, like I'm not doing this for any particular reason in general. I just have to pick up a console on a, I don't know, on a fucking PS4 and just said, hey, fuck it, let's play some games, man. And there we are. You know, I just, I'm happy as to how far I've gone. I'm happy as to the amount of, the amount of progress that it's kind of progressed in like my own lifetime. It's, again, it's a pretty surreal thing to think about because it's like, who can really say that they've done this in their lifetime, you know? That they've gone this far and have really, you know, done it all. 'Cause I have. I've done, God, I've done so much. It feels like I've lived, you know, multiple lifetimes thus far. It's so strange to think about. It's not that I've seen people come and go, but it's definitely strange seeing the people you grow up with, you know, kind of fade away into obscurity. Then it's like, well, who's the new guy that's gonna take over that void that you've kind of been feeling, you know? Pretty crazy to think about, man. You know, I still remember. I think it was on like, oh my god, I think it was like my mom's old phone. I think it was like a flip phone too. That made it all the funnier. Yeah, it was an old flip phone that was somehow some way able to get I think it had like data on it because like there wasn't, or Wi-Fi wasn't really the craze just yet. You know what I mean? So it was like data on the phone and that was about it. But like, God, I can still remember just being infatuated with like old zombie videos of like syndicates and shit like that. It was it was cool times, man. It was simpler times. Still remember I actually just recently got it, or recently bought it back. Was I think like my very first FPS game was an old Medal of Honor game that I played. Freaking back when the days of zero internet that these days will remotely never understand. Because yes, there was no such thing. There was really no such thing as Wi-Fi. and or internet. And if you had that, you were simply simply Jeff Bezos rich at that point. Nah, I'm joking, but it definitely was a luxury rather than a necessity, as it is now more than ever. But God, there was just something so pure of like, you know, your parents are away at work, and you know you didn't have school for the day because it was a weekday, or it wasn't a weekday, but it was a weekend. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. God, it was so fun to just play something that just felt so pure, you know? It was fun growing up in the games that I have now, like StarCraft 2, you know? Something that pushes my mind to, like, you know, the mental limits. Because at the time I was, you know, playing on the easy modes, and now I'm able to play on the hard modes because I have such a good understanding of the game, you know? That's, like, really... That's a good testament to, like, how far I've definitely come in terms of just progression for the most part, you know? It's so crazy to think that, like, I've been able to... God, I don't know. It's nuts to think that, like, back then, you know, all I had was a DS and OG Xbox that I got from a friend. And that was, like, the world to me, you know? I felt felt the kind of sense of importance, you know? That was really, that was really something. That was really something to kind of behold for what it was worth. I don't know. Maybe it's like, do I want to get back to that? Or do I just want to, you know, let that go? I don't know. I wish I had all the answers to these questions. They're still eating in my mind. But I don't. All I can do is, you know, talk about it and figure shit out that way. That's that's really the only kind of cure to this. You know? What more do I have? Shit, if we had all the answers here, I definitely don't think... I definitely would be a lot better off than I was before. You know? Instead of having to just kind of play guessing games and attempt to figure things out the way that I've been going. I don't know. But definitely there's got to be a change either on my end, or I don't know, or on something that I can just fix. I mean, is it me? You know, is it just the sense of need someone there? You know, constantly. Maybe not some more as like a friend, but as something more. You know, like, and that's where I kind of want to bring up now, where it's like, you know, like I recently have someone right now who's like I consider special. You know, again, it's fucking not easy to open up to people. That's probably one of the roughest things you can ever do or ever try, is really make that move. And I just happen to, you know, get a lucky lottery ticket when it comes to that sort of vibe. And it's, it's definitely been interesting, you know. It was cool at first, you know. I really just, you know, maybe I was just that kind of first couple minutes of excitement, then it's like, you know, what happens after that, you know? Where's the kind of flair? But I don't want to feel that way, because it's like, you know it's going to be boring, especially if it's something long distance for, you know, the middle time until you actually physically see each other. But it's that kind of, you know, they get away from you for a while and your mind starts to wander, and it's definitely like, do you doubt yourself, or do you doubt them, or, you know, do you doubt their intentions, I should say. It's, again, it is not easy to open up to people, and that's what kind of makes it, that's what makes it really difficult towards the kind of end of the spectrum, you know. It's a big challenge to say, hey, you know, I'm sharing with you all my deepest darkest secrets, and see how you take it. It's either you gonna up and bounce, or are you just gonna, you know, out of here and say fuck you and find the other 5 billion other guys that live on the planet. It's, I don't know. I think that is a big reason why that, like, I take recently, right? Like, I've just been kind of felt burnt out of stuff, and I'm just like, well, I want to change pace, you know? So I've been doing the modded stuff, and that's been fun for the most part. But how much longer can that serve to still stay interesting? You know, where does that lifespan kind of lead? And that's why I had, you know, her kind of fill that void in the beginning, and now it's, I don't know. I don't want to say it's different, but it's felt distant. You know, I don't know. Again, I could totally be overthinking things, and that's what sucks. Because I don't know. You know, all I can do is guess. All I can do is I can do is play a guessing game as to how things are gonna turn out. Anyways, and that's kind of a big challenge. You know, I think I would honestly argue getting into a relationship is easier than it is maintaining one. I mean, that's pretty obvious for the most part. You know, it's fun. It's crazy because you're like, dude, like this is it. You know what I mean? This is gonna be like the one chick that's gonna, like, you know, shoot nukes, or like when you want to make a decision about throwing a nuke off into another part of the world, that she's gonna be like, yeah, I want to, I'll be the one to help you press the button. You know, that kind of person. Or like when you want to throw burritos at a, I want to throw burritos at an apartment complex. She's ready with the fucking tortillas and beans and cheese. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of vibe. But I don't know. It's hard because it's like, it's just, again, 6. 6 is a pretty decent, pretty solid number to rack up, you know, and whether it just didn't work out because of stuff that just happened with them, or you thought it was me, maybe you thought it was myself the whole time, or, I mean, what could really be the reason behind it? And you carry this sense of guilt around with you for sure, because you're unsure of what to do with the sort of, I don't know, mental buildup, I guess, that it brings. You know, I said I'm not really one to burst into tears about shit like this and break down, because I mean, a lot of my childhood, that kind of was, I guess, removed. You know, kind of like a fucking arm taken off a robot and just put back on and without no feeling, sort of vibe. You just kind of lose that. So I don't really get emotional. The only, I guess, emotion is either happiness or anger. And in the middle, depression. So, healthy combo there, huh? 3 mode settings, for the most part. So it's like, what the fuck do you do with that? Try to maintain the happy part, or maybe just stay in a constant state of depression. To see if that'll pan out. And that is where the big challenge comes in. You know? It's just, I don't know. But it's felt good to kind of share my thoughts. You know, it's felt good to just, it's really felt good to just kind of get it all out there. Because it's nice just to open up, you know, kind of like YouTube, kind of like the channel's my therapist, and I just get to kind of let my mind wander around with shit I still got in my head, you know. Because again, I'm not trying to do this for views or any bullshit. That's kind of cringe. But just, I guess it's something nice to have in the background. Huh? It's funny because I remember doing, I think one of these before, where it's like, I would shit, I think it was like for my phone actually, and then now I did it recently, but now I have a new mic, and I'm like, I don't know. That shit was like, I don't know, some like 80s afro looking old mic, you know, some plug-in USB shit, and now it's like, well, you got a hyper. That should kind of work out. Make you sound less like you have ligma and and or Tourette's. I don't know, whatever. Whatever disease works for you. Anyways, the point is that I really needed this, you know? I needed that. I don't want to say time away from people, because it's so fucking fun to talk to people. It really is. Kind of get to know their story, you know? It's like, why are you here? You know? What is it you want to do? What's the kind of like game-changing world shit that you're gonna do that's gonna be so fucking insane that you just can't even begin to comprehend the levels that it could bring, you know? And music plays a part in that too, at least for me. It's really fun to like listen to music on repeat and oh god, I've had so many music, at least influences of music in my life. I've had, let's see, dude, I've had early years. It was, I think, Linkin Park for the most part. I was just infatuated by them. Linkin Park, AFI. God. And as I grew a little bit older, I remember hearing Not Afraid on the radio. I thought that was like the greatest shit ever. I just got, I don't say hardcore into Eminem, but you know, Without Me, the real Slim Shady, please stand up, sort of vibe. You know what I mean? That was the kind of shit you like listening to in the car. On the little fucking was it? I think it was like the little. I keep thinking Switch. It's like the little ass not MP3 player. Dude, I can't even remember what the hell it was. Okay. It looked like a little square box. Is it a Shuffle? I think it was like Apple Shuffle or some shit like that. I don't know if I don't know if anybody's gonna remember that shit. Holy fuck. That's like more ancient than the fucking pharaohs at this point. Man, but dude, those are the days, man. I think there's this sort of nostalgia of past technology that just is so fucking cool to experience, because it's like, dude, how many people get to say that they've gone through that in their lifetime, you know? Anyways, music. Let's see. Yeah, Eminem on my time. Think of who else. Old school rock, you know? And then I think it was during, actually, I can actually name it. When I went to Oregon, fucking they had like what's known as like the iPad program, right? I guess with some crazy shit where it's like, you know, give people in a kind of coming of age in technology some tech that you can, if you're smart enough, you can kind of get around and watch YouTube and shit on. Take it home with you and charge it. Um, I still remember, I think it was like Cager, Last Train to Paradise. It's my first ever EDM song, and I just fucking went, holy shit, like, what is this? 'Cause it sounded so great. There was something so incredible about that melody and just, like, the feeling that it made you felt, it felt like you went to another dimension, you know? It felt like you just traversed into, you know, some like Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey kind of shit. It's like Inception kind of realm. It was cool, man. It was really insane to think about. That's what I really enjoyed about it. And I think that with that, there's a lot more of. I think there's a lot more of like, I don't know, kind of way to just cope, I guess. You know, you see, you know, like, I don't know, coping mechanism, if you will. But it was nice, you know. More and more, I ended up being able to listen to really amazing music, you know, and now my library is like full of different stuff for different moods, you know, from, yeah, like, I found so many. I mean, Avicii was definitely, like, so huge. I really wished I had that opportunity to actually see him live, because that would have been incredible simply to see. So, I mean, before this point, I was playing his shit like on repeat, and I never got bored with it. Like Levels, Wake Me Up, stuff like that. I never, I never felt that sense of boredom, or or repetitiveness with the music. It just made me feel so much better. Made me feel like I could do a lot of things. That's what I think was really cool about it too. So it's given me that, again, sense of purpose. You know, it's kept me whole when, you know, most people have like literally other human beings to talk to, and it's, well, you know, I might be able to talk with somebody here and there at work, or talk to my really best friend, whom I consider like almost like a brother at this point. But I don't know. I mean, I have so many doubts. I have so many concerns. I guess, does that make me normal, or does it just make me irritable? I guess. I have so many questions. I have so many things I just want to begin to understand. It's like, you know, I want to know everything. I want to understand what the truth of, you know, why I'm here. You know? Why is it I'm able to play fucking video games on a goddamn console, talk to myself for no fucking reason, and expect anything to happen? I don't know. But guess what? That's the fucking reality. You know? That is somehow a reality. That we get to experience emotions. We get to be with people and share things as well. You know? It's a crazy fucking thing to think about. God, I've been doing it for 40 minutes. Fucking nonsense. I wonder what goddamn Patrick Star looking ass is gonna listen to me talk. Whatever. I like doing this. This is nice. Do this shit on Twitch anyways. Might as well do it here. You know? So, but I think the point of what I'm trying to say is just, I want what's going good, at least in terms of relationship-wise, to work out. And finally, man. Like, bare minimum, I can have that, where most people get to have that for maybe a year or two, towards they feel bored, or their own insecurities and problems just end up coming up and, you know, fucking it all up in the end. That's the scary part, you know? Because you can't control them, which, I mean, why would you want to? You'd want somebody for the way they are, but that is rough, you know? Again, you got to deal with them on a constant basis, you know? It's not that it's such a bad thing, but it's like, what if they do already have doubts about themselves the same as you do? What can you do about that? You try to console them, but I mean, for how long would that work? For how long would you be able to kind of keep pace with them? You know? I, I still have doubts because there's so many things that just feel off and strange about it, you know, but I want to have faith that it's gonna work. It's like, fuck, it has to. Or else you'll make it work, or you'll keep the faith. But when you do, what would be your end reward? You know? Do you want something out of this? Or is it just merely a transaction of, you know, or did it feel more like a quick transaction to move on to the next? You know? And I don't want that. I just want something that's gonna feel right for once. You know? So, again, I know this is not gonna be professional, or it's not gonna look like, well, you know, there's editing involved, and, you know, God, sounds like a camel's ball sack. But you know what? This is fine. It's an outlet that I have when so many others don't even get to have that in the first place. You know, so I gotta be glad for what I have, because not many others get to have this as it is. You know, so I really want I just want life to work out, honestly, you know? Whatever I pursue, I want people to, I guess, accept for what I have to offer, you know? Again, I'm not really anything special. I don't have any particular set of skills. No goddamn Liam Neeson. I just happen to be me, and that's about fucking it. You know? Do I don't want to change that. I mean, that's kind of a betrayal of who I am, and it's not really, that's not honest, you know, so, I don't know. Again, I don't think anyone's gonna listen to like 40 minutes of my bullshit, but hey, cool, I guess. At least have decent, at least have some interesting gameplay to listen to in the background. I'm off spewing BS, so, I don't know. Maybe that's all I want. Maybe this is all I needed. Just a reassurance that everything will work out with the relationship I have right now, to streaming, to everything. Like, this will be it, you know? So if that's the case, hey, I'm all fucking for it. But what time is it right now, dude? It's like 1 in the morning. No, it's like, hold on. It's fucking 2 a.m. Goddamn idiot. Anyways, I think I just, this is, this was good, you know? I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do too many of these, but I liked being able to share, you know, being able to put out would have been able to. So this has been nice. Thank you for listening. If you managed to listen this far and not get bored out of your mind. So thank you. Good night.